Your tears are a superpower. You just never learned to see it that way. Someone once told you that you feel too much. Maybe they said you're too emotional, too sensitive, too easily hurt. Maybe they rolled their eyes when you cried. Maybe they told you to toughen up, to stop overreacting, to get over it already. And somewhere in there, you believed them. Hi, I'm Esther. I record this podcast from Switzerland, and today I want to hand you back something that was never actually broken: your sensitivity. Let's talk about it. Think about the first time someone made you feel like your feelings were too much. Maybe it was a parent who said, "Stop crying," or "I'll give you something to cry about." Maybe it was a teacher who called you dramatic. Maybe it was a partner who sighed every time you needed to talk about something that hurt. And each time you learned a little lesson. The lesson was this: feeling deeply is a problem. Feeling deeply makes you difficult to be around. So you did what any smart, adaptable human would do. You started turning it down. You held back the tears. You laughed when you wanted to say something hurt. You said, "I'm fine," 1,000 times when you weren't. You built a smaller version of yourself, a version that was easier to handle. But here's the truth I need you to hear today. Your sensitivity was never the problem. It was always your gift, hiding in a world that didn't know how to hold it. And let's clear something up, because I don't want you confused about what we're really talking about. Being sensitive doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're fragile. It doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It means your nervous system picks up more. You notice the shift in someone's tone before they even realize it. You feel the tension in a room the second you walk in. You cry at films that other people forget by the next morning because the story actually moved something in you. That's not a flaw. That's a finely tuned instrument. The world just never taught you how to use it. Instead, it taught you to be ashamed of. It taught you that strength means never breaking, never crying, never needing anyone. So, every time you felt something big, you learned to apologize for it instead of honoring it. But sensitivity is not the crack in your armor. It's the doorway to your depths. The same nervous system that feels the pain of the world so intensely is the same one that feels its beauty just as deeply. You don't get one without the other. You can't numb the sadness without numbing the joy too. And here's what nobody tells you about spending years turning your feelings down. It doesn't make the feelings disappear. It just pushes them underground. And feelings that go underground don't stay quiet forever. They come out sideways, in tension in your shoulders, in snapping at people you love over something small, in a heaviness you can't quite explain that follows you from room to room. I've been there. I spent years being the strong one, the calm one, the one who never needed anything from anyone. And underneath it, I was exhausted from holding it all in. Numbing yourself doesn't protect you. It just delays the moment you finally have to feel it. And I don't want you delaying your own life anymore, waiting for permission to feel what you already feel. So, what does it actually look like to take your sensitivity back? It means you stop apologizing when you cry. You let the tears come and you let them mean something instead of rushing to explain them away. It means when someone says, "You're too much," you stop shrinking to prove them wrong. Instead, you ask yourself, too much for who? Because the people who can hold your depth will never call it too much. They'll call it a privilege to witness. It means you use your sensitivity as information, not embarrassment. When you feel a knot in your stomach around someone, that's data. When a room feels heavy the second you enter it, that's data too. Your body has been trying to tell you things for years. It's time to start listening instead of silencing it. Your sensitivity is not something to manage. It's something to trust. Hear that. Your sensitivity is not something to manage. It's something to trust. Think about the people you admire most, the ones who make you feel truly seen when you're with them. Chances are they are not the ones who feel nothing. They are the ones who feel everything and learned how to carry it with grace. That's who you are becoming, not someone who feels less, someone who feels fully and no longer apologizes for it. And here's something you can try starting today. The next time you feel something big rising in you, don't reach for the usual reflex to shrink it. Don't say, "I'm being dramatic." Don't say, "It's not a big deal." Instead, place a hand on your chest and say quietly, "This feeling makes sense. I am allowed to feel this." That's it. That's the whole practice. It sounds small, but it's the opposite of everything you've been taught to do with your feelings. And every time you do it, you send your nervous system a new message. You tell it, it's safe to feel here. You don't have to hide anymore. Over time, that message becomes a new way of living, A life where your feelings are not the enemy. A life where your depth is not a liability, but the very thing that lets you love harder, connect deeper, and notice the beauty other people walk straight past. So here's what I want you to carry with you today. You were never too sensitive for this world. This world just wasn't gentle enough to hold what you carry. Your tears were never weakness. Your empathy was never a flaw. Your depth was never something to shrink. It was always, always your gift. So today, let yourself feel. Let the tears come if they come. Let your heart notice what it notices. Stop apologizing for the very thing that makes you able to love this world as deeply as you do. You were never too much. You were simply too rare for a world that hadn't caught up to you yet. And if this episode touched something in you, I want to know you something. You don't have to carry this alone. I offer coaching sessions one-on-one with me where we can talk about exactly this, about the parts of you that got told to be smaller, about the sensitivity you've been taught to hide. It's a real conversation, just you and me. No pressure, no sales pitch, just space held for you. You can find the link to book your first free session in the show notes below. Until next time, let yourself feel everything. You were built for depth, not for numbing. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you next week.